In this video, we are going to study about graphical analysis of motion. It is a very important topic. All the topics on the videos on the graph, make sure you understand them properly. They are very important for your basic concept building and for higher competition exams like IIT and NEET. There are many questions that come on this topic. So there are three types of graph that we are going to study for motion analysis. First is displacement time graph, which is also called position time graph. Second is velocity time graph, and third is acceleration time graph. So while discussing displacement time or position time graph, I am also going to tell you a little bit about distance time graph. There is not much difference between the two. Similarly, while studying velocity time, we are going to talk about speed time. The only difference between them is for the definition only. So let us start with displacement time graph. Now, as you can see from the name, that displacement time will be the graph between displacement or position and time. So if this is the time axis, and let's say that this is the displacement or position axis, and let us take a random graph. Let us say that this is the graph, whatever particle is moving, the graph of that motion is like this. Now we can see that if we choose a point P here, we can see that the slope, if we draw a tangent, we'll get a slope, and this is making a theta. So we can write that slope at point P is equal to tan theta. And as we have studied in the topics of differentiation, this tan theta will be equal to dx by dt. Now we also know that dx by dt is equal to velocity. So this means that slope of displacement time graph gives us the value of instantaneous velocity. So velocity at P will be equal to dx by dt, or it will be equal to tan theta. Now if we take another, as we can see that this theta is acute, this is an acute angle, so that is why the slope is positive. The tan of acute angle is always positive. So here for point P, the slope will be positive. But let us take another point. Let us say that this is the point, and if you make a tangent on this point, then it will go like this, and it is going to make an obtuse angle with the time axis. Let us say that this is theta dash. Now the slope for this will be equal to tan theta dash, where theta dash is the obtuse angle, so obviously this is going to be negative. So what we can say about this, that at point Q, the displacement is decreasing. By decreasing, we mean that object is coming towards the origin, the starting point. The object is coming towards the starting point. That's why we say that it is decreasing. Decreasing means it is just having a negative sign. It does not mean that the time has gone in reverse. Time can never go in reverse. Time will keep on continuing in the forward direction, but the position of particle, the motion of particle can be such that it is starting from origin, it is going in one direction, then coming back to the origin. So that would what we mean by decreasing displacement. So it will be negative, and the velocity has also changed its direction because the tan theta dash is negative. So that means velocity is also, this will imply that velocity is also negative. What we mean by negative velocity, that the particle has changed the direction of its velocity. So let us take an example. Let us say that there is a particle which is moving, which is starting, let us say it is starting from rest, and then it is accelerating. Acceleration is increasing. Then for some time it is moving uniformly. Uniformly means without acceleration. It is moving at the constant velocity. Then there is retardation, that is the acceleration will decrease, and finally it comes to rest again. So the particle is starting from rest, then its velocity is increasing, then it is moving with uniform velocity, then the velocity is decreasing, and finally the particle comes to rest. Now if we make the graph of this particular example, the displacement time graph of this particular example, then first the body is starting from rest, so it will start from the origin, the 0 point. When t equals to 0, then it is accelerating. So this means the graph will go like this. This is the graph for acceleration. If we, how do we know that this is the graph of acceleration? At every point, if you find the slope, then you will see that if you draw the tangent, the theta, the tan theta will become more and more in value. It will go more positive. That means that the value of acceleration is increasing or velocity is increasing till time, let us say till time t1. So from rest, the body accelerated till time t1, then it is moving uniformly, so it will be a straight line. Let us say it is moving uniformly till time t2, and then there is a retardation, so it will go like this till it becomes constant. At this point, the retardation becomes constant, or we can say that there is no more displacement, the displacement becomes constant. This means that the body has come to rest. So let us say that at t3 the body comes to rest. So this is how we analyze a graph. First there is acceleration, then there is uniform motion, then there is deacceleration, and finally the body comes to rest. So this is how we are going to discuss. Now let us take another example. Let us do on next page. We'll take another example, that there is a particle and it is starting from rest. From this position it is starting, and then it is moving in this direction with a constant velocity v till time t1. So it is starting from time t equals to 0 to time t1. Then at this point the particle is at rest. Let us say for t2 duration the particle is at rest. It came from the starting point till the maximum displacement, let us say xm. So from 0 the particle came to xm in time t1 with constant velocity v. Then for t2 seconds, for t2 duration, the particle is at rest, and after t2 duration the particle again started going back towards the starting position with the same velocity, and it reaches the starting position, let us say at t3. Now if we have to make the position time graph of this particular case, then it will look somewhat like this. From 0 the body is starting, the displacement increases, and the body is starting with uniform velocity. So that means it will be a straight line, uniform velocity, it will be a straight line till the time t1. So till from 0 to time t1 there will be a uniform velocity. Then from t1 to t2 the body is at rest. That means there will be no displacement. So the value of displacement becomes, it remains same till time t2. After that the direction of velocity has reversed. The body is again traveling towards the initial position. So that means displacement is becoming negative. So displacement will become negative, and this will be uniform velocity v till time t3, when it again reaches the initial displacement, when it reaches the starting point. So we can see that body started from this point and again reached this point. For both the values, the value of x is same. Here it is xm, but on these 2 points the value of displacement is same. So we can say that the particle started from the starting point and then ended back on the starting point only. So this is how we can say that this particular graph works. This is how we analyze the graph. Now if we say that we are required to draw distance time graph of this same situation, then what will happen if we draw distance time graph? Then the initial conditions will be same, that the body is starting from 0, its velocity is uniformly increasing till t1, then the body is at rest till t2. Till here there is no difference between the two graphs. After this point, that is the after this, when the body returns, it is changing its direction, so its displacement is decreasing. But we know that distance never decreases. Distance will keep on going in the same direction. So from here, when the particle is returning back to the starting point, the distance will still keep on increasing till it reaches this point at position T3. So what will be the difference? This point will be xm when body came here, and then when body went back, displacement would be 0, but distance would be xm plus xm, so it will be 2xm. So this value will be equal to 2xm. So we can say that body has traveled a distance of 2xm, and from this graph we can say body has traveled a displacement of 0. So this is how we analyze graph. Now let us discuss about velocity time graphs. Let us see how we analyze velocity time graph. Now if let us take a random curve, random velocity time curve like this, same type of curve as we did it previously. Now if we again take a point P and make a tangent, then this angle theta and tan of this theta will give us the slope. Now we know that slope here will be equal to dv by dt, and what is dv by dt? It is equal to instantaneous acceleration. So we can say that the slope of velocity time graph gives us instantaneous acceleration. Now on point P, since theta is acute, so it will be positive, so we can say for at acceleration at P will be positive. The velocity will increase in the positive direction, acceleration is positive. But if we take another point Q and make a slope, make a tangent, then tan theta dash will be negative, hence we can say that acceleration is negative, or we can say that since slope is negative, acceleration is also negative. So there will be retardation at point Q, or the velocity will decrease. So we can see also that velocity will decrease as we come down in this graph. The value of velocity will keep on decreasing. That is because the acceleration is negative. Now another important thing about velocity time graph is the area under the curve. Now if we say that this is time t1, this is some instant t1, and this is some instant t2, and if we want to find the area under the curve from t1 to t2, then this area will be given by this equation. We have already done this in integration. Area will be equal to the integration of v dt from t1 to t2, and this integration, this value, this will give us the value of displacement. This is a very important concept. This gives us the value of displacement of particle from t1 to t2, or we can choose any two axes, any two time instants, and we can find the displacement by finding the area under that curve between any two time instants. So this is important. Now let us do an example on this. Let us say that we have a curve, a velocity time graph. Let us say it is like this. So here we can see that initially the velocity is increasing, then it becomes almost constant, then velocity, the direction of velocity has changed. The body has reversed this direction and it is coming towards 0. The velocity, there is a deceleration and velocity is coming towards 0. Then the velocity went negative. That means the particle has crossed its starting position in the opposite direction. Now the particle is going towards the negative side. And again in negative side the velocity is increasing, and then the particle is again coming back to 0. So if we see that if this is the starting point of the particle, first it is moving in this direction, in positive direction with some velocity, and since velocity is increasing, that means there is some positive acceleration. then the body is coming back. So there is a negative acceleration till it reaches the starting point, and then the body is going more negative. That means the body is going back in this direction, velocity with negative velocity and negative acceleration. So that means the velocity is again increasing, and then it will again come back to the starting point. So the motion of the body is like this. It is an oscillating kind of motion. So if we talk about the area, we can see that there are two areas here. Let us say this is S1 area and this is S2, and this is on positive side, so this will be a positive area, and this is on negative side, so it will be a negative area. So let us say that this is time t1 and this is time t2. So from t equals to 0 to t1, we can say that velocity is increasing, then it is constant, and then it is decreasing, and it becomes, velocity becomes 0 at t1. Then for t1 to t2, we can say that velocity is negative. Velocity is increasing but in negative direction. We can write it here that particle, why is it happening? The particle is returning to starting position. The particle is returning to start, and at t2 the velocity becomes 0, so the particle is at rest. Now area from 0 to t1 is positive. This area is positive, and from t1 to t2 it is negative. So we can say that total displacement will be equal to S1 minus S2. Now if S1 and S2 are same, that is the displacement in this direction and displacement in this direction is same, then we can say that total displacement is 0, and that makes sense that the particle started from here, went to maximum position here, returned to the starting position, went on the negative side with the same amplitude, with the same displacement, and came back. So what is the total displacement? It will be equal to 0. But if the displacements on either side is not equal, the total displacement will be given by S1 minus S2. And the total distance, we know that distance does not decrease, so distance will be simply by S1 and S2. So this is a very important result. Make sure you make note of this. So this will be our velocity time graph. We are going to discuss it in detail in further videos. Now the next is acceleration time graph. Now there is nothing much to discuss about acceleration time graph. The slope of acceleration time graph is not of much importance, and it does not concern our syllabus, so we are not going to discuss about the slope. So let us say that if we have like this curve, and there are two time instants t1 and t2, and slope is not important, but the area that is under the curve, that is important. And we can write that the area under acceleration time curve, it gives us velocity. So area will be given by a dt, integration of a dt from t1 to t2 or from any two instants, and this will give us the net change of velocity. So this is important. The slope is not important. The area under the acceleration time graph is important.